over there are very independent. Okay, so if you consider US, probably they are bankrupt by the age of 25. Okay, so saving is not possible. Okay, if we consider Indian demographics, we have a lot of people who still live in joint family. Okay, we still don't leave our parents' house by the age of 18 or 20 or maybe 25. Okay, we are still living with our parents. Okay, so so hence we need to we never think of having a retirement plan in system. Okay, because as parents become old, they might think that their children are going to be there to take care of them. Okay, but this might be true, might not be true. Okay, so it is always better to have a retirement savings as soon as possible. So the retirement savings should start as early as possible so that smaller contributions made can also contribute to the corpus significantly with the benefit of compounding. Okay. And third is another benefit of starting to save early in age is that the amount that needs to be contributed periodically to reach the retirement corpus is less. Okay. Now, this calculations will can be done using TVM or your other retirement calculators which are available. But this is the general logic. Okay, that if I start saving today, okay, because of the magic of compounding, okay, the value will be much higher. Okay, even if I save a smaller amount, the value will be higher. Okay? Now, while we are considering this retirement topic today, I would like to just cite an example. Okay, so there was there's this story that I had read somewhere. Okay, so there is this old person. Okay, he was entirely dependent on his children. Like he had one son, one wife, and he was totally dependent on them. Okay. Now what happens is because until and unless that person was earning, he used to earn respect in the house. Okay. Once he stopped earning, he started and he got ill. He got dependent on his son and his daughter-in-law. Now, daughter-in-law was little evil and maybe little greedy, so she started mistreating him. And once, in a conversation with his friend, the friend said, "You do one thing, take this bag, fill the bag with stones and take it home." Okay. Now, what he did the same thing, and he said to his daughter-in-law that this is additional some gold jewelry that my mother had left for me and with my friend, and my friend gave it to me today. Okay. Now, by doing this, the daughter-in-law and the son, the greedy daughter-in-law, they got very excited. Okay, we are going to have a lot of wealth now. Okay, so they started treating him nicely and fairly, and giving him respect. So this is one of the ways. So if you, it is always advisable that you have some money in your for your own retirement so that you're not dependent on anyone. Okay. At his death, they figured out that it was just stones that was lying in the back. Okay. So this was just a story that I came across, and that too when I was very young. Okay. So yeah. So now let us come back to this. So assume a person will need to accumulate 1 million by the age of 65 to fund his retirement or her retirement. Okay. If this individual start setting aside a money at the age of 30 and can earn an average annual return of 7%, he or she would have to make an annual periodic contributions in the amount around 7,235 to achieve the goal. Okay. Now, if the same person starts to save at the age of 40, okay, he will have to save 15,000. Okay. And the same person, if he starts investing at the age of 50, he will have to save 39,000 per month. Okay. So by waiting to begin saving for retirement, the individual creates his or her own difficulties to the point that eventually the person has little or no hope of accumulating the required money for the retirement. Okay. So is it this clear kind of a thing? Should I move to the next session? So now, when we are considering retirement stages, okay, okay. Now, say this is your timeline, okay. Any person who's 30 today, person is 30 today, and he's going to retire at the age of 60, and say he's going to live for 75 years. Okay, just change it. Okay. So this phase in your retirement is known as accumulation phase. This phase in your retirement is known as distribution phase. Okay. So there are different products that we will see which are there in your accumulation stage as well as in your distribution stage. Okay. So there are two stages, accumulation stage and distribution stage. So accumulation stage is the stage at which saving and investment for the retirement purpose is done, whereas distribution stage is the stage where when corpus created in the accumulation stage is employed to generate income to the to meet the required retirement expenses. Okay. Now retirement products are used to invest. Retirement products are used to invest the savings to create the retirement purpose in the accumulation stage and to generate a regular income in the distribution stage. Okay. The retirement stage will define the type of retirement products suitable to the investor. Okay. Generally, in the accumulation stage, the focus is on growth. Okay. So you invest in products that give you growth. Whereas in your distribution stage, the focus is on income, because at that time you will not be earning any income, or you will not be you will not be able to work probably, hence the focus is on income. Okay. Now retirement products are divided into two parts. Okay, first is defined benefit and second is defined contribution. Under defined benefit plan, the pension amount or the value of your retirement benefit is known. So generally, this is for all the people who are employed in corporate sector or in government sector, wherein they already know what are the different retirement products available. Okay, so maybe we are given gratuity. Now, generally throughout the world, okay, I'm talking about global situation right now. People are now shifting towards defined contribution plan from defined benefit plan. Okay, because defined benefit plans are now becoming little bit of it is costing a lot to the employers as well as to the government. Okay, hence they are shifting to defined contribution. Now, I think defined benefit and all the products that we will be seeing, they will be explained by Balwan sir, because he will be considering the tax aspect of each of these products. So most of the products will be covered by him. Okay. So in defined benefit plan, the pension amount or the value of your retirement benefit is known. So gratuity is a type of a retirement benefit plan. Okay, so defined benefit where you know the amount of gratuity that you're going to receive. Defined contribution plan, that is the pension amount is not known beforehand. Okay, so whatever amount that you will be getting at your retirement, you still don't know. Okay, in defined contribution plan, you know that the amount that you're contributing to your savings account, okay, or your particular product, you know the amount for your savings, but you don't know what will be the value at your return. Okay, so in defined contribution plan, a defined amount is contributed by an employer or both, okay, towards a pension fund over a period of time. Okay. The final corpus of the pension fund determines the retirement benefit, which can be taken in a lump sum or as an annuity bought from the funds received or a combination of the two. Okay. Right. So what are the different types of retirement benefit or your products that we use during your accumulation stage? Okay. So first is employee provident fund, employee pension scheme, and pension. Now these are the products wherein you save before your retirement. Okay, so you do not know what will be the value. You might know, you might not know, but these are the products where you generally save for your retirement. So there is EPF. Now there is EPF, there is pension, there is employee linked deposit scheme, there is gratuity, there is superannuation benefits, there is NPS. Now NPS, previously only government employees were allowed to invest, but now everyone can invest. Okay. So NPS, then we have voluntary provident fund. So in case you want to save more in your PF account, you can do through voluntary provident fund. Then you have national pension scheme. Then you have public provident fund, PPF. Then you have pension plans from insurance companies. Now these are generally your annuity plans that are provided. Now annuity plans are provided by insurance companies as well as your mutual fund companies. Okay. Also, you can use systematic wealth transfer or systematic transfer plan, systematic withdrawal plan or systematic transfer plan, depending upon your needs. Okay. So annuities can be, you can start saving in your annuities today, and then you can reap the benefits over a number of years. Okay. Or what you can do is, you can, if you receive a lump sum amount, okay, during your retirement, you can immediately purchase an annuity, and you can have your savings. So that is what we will see in the next slide. Now, what are the different products during your distribution stage? Okay, now these products, they provide you income. Okay, these products, they provide you your savings. Okay, so now your focus here. Now, why people are promoting NPS? Why people are promoting ULIPs? But because that can give you a higher value, which is if the equity markets perform well, then you can expect a higher return on your investment. Okay? So generally, EPF, PPF will give us about 7 to 8%, close to that. Okay. Now annuities, like I explained, okay, when you have a lump sum amount in your retirement, or if you are, thinking to have, if you buy annuity products from insurance companies, they can provide you a regular income, okay, during your retirement. So annuities can be of different type. Every annuity has a different feature attached to it. Okay. So for example, if you buy annuity for life, it will give you money till you're surviving, then you will not get any money. If you are buying annuity with the return of purchase price, okay, it means that if you are going to purchase, if you purchase an annuity today and after 10 years, if you die, okay, so then you will get that money back, okay, whatever amount you have invested. You can have joint life annuity, wherein you can cover your life and your wife, like your spouse and yourself both in the same thing. Okay, it also has a return of purchase. Okay, now a return of purchase price is a very good option in case you want to leave a legacy for your children. Okay, if you don't have any children, or if you don't have any dependents, or you don't want to leave anything for your dependents, then you can just offer annuity, joint life annuity, so you and your spouse can live, a comfortable retirement life. Then we have retirement citizen savings schemes. Okay, now this is a post office scheme. Okay, so these products are post office related products. They provide you these services. So retirement citizen savings schemes, monthly income plans, these two products are provided by post office. Then you also have mutual fund scheme. Okay, so like I said, you can have systematic withdrawal. The way we have systematic investment plan, mutual funds have systematic withdrawal plan as well as systematic transfer. Okay? But also keep in mind the tax related to mutual funds. Okay? Then you can also have debentures and also bank deposits and other deposits. That is your fixed deposits. Then you have debentures and bonds. Then income from real estate. Suppose you have two houses, so then you can have a regular cash flow from another house as well. And then there is this product which is known as reverse mortgage scheme. Okay, this product is not very popular in India, but probably it is more of a failed product. But then in retirement, we do have this product as well. Okay, so in case you have no other income, okay, and just husband and wife, two of them are there, and no dependents, okay, and you require a income source. So what do? You go to a bank, you keep the house on mortgage, and have a regular cash. Okay. Now, by doing this, what happens is, suppose you have anyone who wants, like any of your children, okay, when you took the reverse mortgage, you did not want to give anything, you did not want to give this house to your children. Okay, now if your children comes and they want this house, then in that case, what they will do is, they will, the bank will say that you repay this loan and, take the house. Okay. Okay, so with this, we have completed our retirement products. Okay, now all of these products have their own pros and cons, so we have to research and everything. Like some has tax benefits, some does not have tax benefit. Okay, for example, PPF, it is a tax exempt product. Okay, everything that we invest in PPF is exempt. Okay, there is in case of NPS, 60% is tax exempt, 40% is taxable. The annuity, because out of that 40% you need to purchase annuity, and income from annuity is taxable. Okay, so you also have to keep tax aspects of these products while you select the products first. Okay, now this is a strategy. Okay, I have tried, because we have less time and everything. So I am trying to have a small strategy for retirement planning. Okay. Now I will not get into the total calculation of all this. I have just calculated and kept it for you. Okay. So assuming an individual requires $1 lakh, okay, and his total requirement, his total corpus requirement is $16 lakh. Okay, and he's going to live for, say we are planning a retirement for about 15 years. Okay. Now, so if we consider, so for his first 2 years of retirement, okay, he will be requiring immediate cash flows. Okay, so in that case, what do? Is we save these first 2 years expenses in bucket one. Okay, once this bucket also in bucket one. Okay, so we cannot plan much if we have, if any, the investment return will be as it is, will be held in cash. So it is generally, what do? Is if your retirement time span is between 0 to 3 years. Okay, we generally held the money in cash or cash equivalent or something like that. Okay, if your retirement plan is somewhere close to 3 to 5 years, we use debt products to save our retirement. And if your retirement requirement is more than 5 years, we can invest in equity or real estate as it is there. Okay. Hello. Yes. So we cannot plan much. Okay, so any return will be negligible. Okay, because the cash flow you require is immediate. So 0 to 2 years, okay, we consider it as immediate cash flows. Hence, you know, we do not look for returns in this case. Okay, so now that remains. So out of the 16 lakhs, 2 lakhs are gone, right? Now out of this, the bucket number two should hold from 2 to 10 years of funding. Okay. Now in this bucket, we will need to factor inflation along with some level of conservative investment return. Okay. We suggested that investment in the middle bucket should be limited to investment grade or like intermediate bonds, senior notes or preferred stock, okay, or high grade blue chip dividend stocks and perhaps high quality REITs. Okay, so these are basically your debt products. So you can also have a combination wherein for first 5 years you have invested in debt. For the next 5 years you have invested in equity. Okay, Hmm. because you do not require that money for now, so you can take a little bit of risk on it. Okay. Now, and reasonable return assumption for this group of investment is around 3 to 5% per annum. Okay, if we settle on 6, okay, along with 3% inflation. Now, it is always said that when if I now if you are investing at 6%, okay, and if there is an inflation of hello, am I audible? Hello.
Yes, ma'am, you are audible, ma'am. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Sorry. So, right. So it is. So you will get little less than 3%. Okay. So in our calculation, it comes to 2.9%. Okay. So so how do you calculate the middle bucket? Okay, because you have considered a higher return over here, and when you subtract that amount from this, so that leaves you with 8,81,000 in your middle corpus. Now, the third corpus can be invested in, high risk product, not very high risk product, but medium risk product. Like it can be equities, it can be real estate, or it can be commodities, which give you a higher return. Okay. Now, by doing this, by dividing uh, your savings or your investment in different buckets, how does this benefit you? Okay. So, what happens is, right? An individual spends money from bucket one each year. Assets equivalent to 1 lakh can be liquidated from bucket two and then move to bucket one. Okay. So for the first 2 years, say he's going to invest in, he's going to use money from bucket one. Okay. Now, once he sees that bucket one is getting empty, he will take money from bucket two, which is equivalent to bucket one. Okay. And then move, which is equivalent to his monthly expenses, and move that much money in bucket two. Okay. At the same time, okay, you still need to replenish the bucket two also. Okay. So you take money from bucket three and put it in bucket two. Okay. Because bucket three has a very high risk and high return profile, you can do this, right? Now, assets in second and third buckets will continue growing, and the individual should not be in danger of running out of funds. Okay. Now, this assumes that a cushion has been built for emergencies, mm, that is extra medical expenses or any other financial surprises. Okay. Now, there is a financial planner in US, okay, Benjamin, which focuses on 4 fundamental assumptions that must be determined by each individual. Okay, so when you are considering a retirement plan, first is you have to see tax status of the portfolio. Okay, so whatever investments that you are using, that is their tax benefit or they are tax efficient or not. Second is the time horizon. Okay, for how long the individual expects to need the cash flow. Okay. Third is asset allocation. So depending on his time horizon, he will, divide his cash flow or he will divide his assets. Okay. And fourth is how is portfolio rebalancing balanced. Okay. So now what is portfolio rebalancing? So say you are some assets they grow more than few other assets. Okay. And you have determined an asset mix for your retirement plan. Okay. Now, because some assets have grown and some have not, okay, so there will be a mismatch in your initial asset allocation. Okay, to no, to balance it again, we use this rebalancing portfolio. Okay, so generally when we rebalance, okay, it is always said that plus minus 5% here and there is okay. Okay. So another key factor is the required success rate. That is the degree of confidence that everything will work out and the money will last. Okay. Now with this, I would just like everyone to just go through this. I will take you through this financial plan that I had created for a retirement individual. Okay. Now there are a lot of numbers, but I will just take 2 minutes to explain this, and then we'll be done with this. Now, so he was an individual who had 61 years of age. His life expectancy was say 100 years. Okay, and he wanted the retirement plan for 39 years. Okay. Now, okay, now this was his income. Okay, so like when we started retirement plan, okay, we saw that there are different income streams that we need to consider. So whenever we are creating a financial plan, or even for you, we always have a budget. Okay, so we accumulate all your incomes in one side and then the expenses, and then we determine your savings. Okay, so he said his income from pension was 4,20,000. His investments was somewhere close to 1,40,000. Okay, like this is the income that he received from his rental house. Sorry, this is his house rent. This is the dividend that he used to receive from his stocks. Okay, then this is the mutual fund income. This was the dividend that he was receiving. So his total income was 7,80,000. Okay. Now, out of the 7,80,000, he had 7 lakh rupees expenses. So this was his annual thing that we are considering. Okay. So annually he is able to save 80,000. Okay. Now the 7 lakhs also includes his travel for. He used to travel every year to Germany. Okay. So then this was inclusive of that. Okay. Now he had 2 residential houses. Okay. One in Mumbai and one in Odisha. Okay. Now, equity that he had was 1 crore. Okay. Debt equity, like this is direct equity. Okay. Equity mutual funds was 29 lakhs. Okay. Debt mutual funds were 20 lakhs, and he had some cash about this much. Okay. Now his financial goals was to have a steady income of 7 lakhs per annum. Okay. To have a capital for 50,000 as a startup, and to pay an annual trip costing for 2 lakh rupees. Okay. Now, generally, when we create a financial plan or we create a corpus, we always assume a little conservative approach. Okay. So, say your income is 7%, your return on equity is inflation is 7%, your return on equity is 12%, your return on debt is 7, and you say because you're having a rental income from your house, the escalation is 5%. Okay, this is all conservative measures that we have taken. Okay, now the income again we know is this. Okay, so first thing what we do is we create a contingency fund or an emergency fund. Okay, so instead of 10 lakhs, we made it 20 lakhs. Sorry, 2 lakhs. Okay, out of this, then we have to take out his expenses for his corpus, that is 50 lakhs. Okay, right. Now, so what we are left with is the 1 crore in his equity, direct equity. Okay, so because he was already retired. Okay, so it would not be wise to invest everything in debt funds, okay, or an equity fund. So what we did is 30% debt and 30% equity. Now we rebalanced after first 10 years. Okay, so see this. Okay, so after 10 years, we rebalance the asset allocation to 45 and 55%. Okay, in the next 20 years to 50 to 50-50, and in the next 30 years, debt 55 and equity 45. Okay, and in the balance 35 years, okay, we can have the asset allocation to be debt and equity. Okay, so by doing this, we are able to have a surplus income even after the age of 100 rupees or 100 for him. Okay, so with this, I am ending my session. And if you have any questions or any doubt, you can always ask me.
Ajay sir?
Yeah. Pawan?
Yes, sir.
Janal, there is a wonderful talk. Have you finished the complete talk? The worksheet was wonderful. I think most
Yes,
of us really liked that worksheet which you have presented.
Thank you, sir.
I enjoyed listening to it, even though we have read this chapter and partly covered by earlier speakers. But
Okay.
the way you have presented was really wonderful. I
Thank you,
think
sir.
if there are any questions, we will start taking questions. And
Okay.
before that, let me remind people that there will be a quiz at the end of the program today. And I will post the questions in the chat box and also share the questions on the screen. And
Yes.
if first question which I like to ask the speaker is, you have mentioned about three buckets: bucket one, bucket two, bucket three, and
Yes,
you have
sir.
mentioned the starting of the invitation planning for retirement can be any age. It need not be like early, though preferable and advisable is to start early at the age of 30 or any other earlier age. Suppose somebody has not planned, it's a very wonderful detailed planning which we are not aware, like we seniors, at least in my age group, we did not have,
Oh,
especially working in the private sector like doctors. Most of my colleagues, we are
right,
all
sir.
in private sector, not in a government sector where we'll get pensions and all. So how do we
Right,
plan
sir.
at the late stage of retirement requirements?
So, if you
Any
want to,
tips? I mean,
no. So, first thing is you have to be like really patient in whatever you're investing. Okay. Secondly, investing everything in direct equity does not make sense. Okay. Investing there is fine. Okay, but it is always advisable that you use this bucket approach, so that initially if you are able to manage your first 2-3 years expenses, okay, and you are taking little bit of risk towards your ending years. Okay, so if you see this Excel sheet also, okay, so initially we started with 30% debt and 70% equity. Okay, because his income requirement for 1 year is say 7 lakh rupees, so 9 lakh rupees. Okay, so right now, so if his travel total household expenses is 9 lakh, income is this, so there is a deficit of this. So what do? Is we withdraw from debt funds. Okay, so after withdrawing every year from the debt fund, okay, we can see that after 10 years, when we again rebalance, our equity has grown to a sufficient amount that can again be rebalanced to 45-55. Okay, so again you start withdrawing from your debt fund. Okay, because this becomes very convenient for you to withdraw. Okay, the values of your money will not fall so soon. So this is very helpful. Okay, now if you see, there is a little deficit here in the 20th year. Okay, so in such a case, what do? Is we withdraw from our equity fund. Okay, because there is not enough money here, so we withdraw here, and then again we rebalance the money that we have. Okay, now once again when you rebalance, okay, your cash, your debt fund has increased, you can again withdraw from there. So yeah, now you see there are 2 years wherein you find a little bit deficit. So you again withdraw from equity, right? And so yeah, so even after 40 years, he still has some cash surplus cash flow left. So this method is a good method.
Okay, the bottom line is I presume, or what I think, that most of our doctors are poor financial planners. They
Right,
don't even think about the future, what is happening, say, at the age of 60 or 65 to their lives of financial stability.
right.
So they were initially, as you said, they were creating wealth, and then distribution of wealth was very poor. And at the end,
Hmm.
allocations and then withdrawing from savings, debt,
Savings, yes, that
mentioning
is very
about all these things, they may not have developed it. So there
correct.
will be definitely some sort of a lock jam at the end of their lives.
Correct.
So I was just trying to allude that, and probably this is the time for youngsters to pay attention to their planning for their retirements.
Yes, definitely.
So
Yes.
there is a question which has been
Uh,
posted in the chat box. They
uh,
said, what is the proportion of
uh,
investment you would advise in the real estate? Real estate could be either value appreciation, or it could be rental payment for the investor or for the person whom we are planning. So a youngster, how much he or she, though, let me tell all the participants who are there that there is a separate session we are going to take on real estate investments in the next coming Friday, after the two sessions which we have already planned and scheduled, like tax planning by Balwant Jain sir, and after that mutual funds and all, and then we are having a real estate session, full session on the real estate investments. So what is your opinion?
Now, in if we were to consider
Of
real
the
estate,
percentage from the investment saving?
sorry, sir.
Yeah.
Hello.
What is the proportion of investment percentage he should have or start saving or putting in the real estate?
So now, when any for any investment option, if we were to consider, there are always two streams of income. Okay, one stream of income is your regular rental income or your regular dividend or whatever cash flows that you're going to receive. Okay, second stream of income is the capital appreciation. Okay, so if the person is looking forward for a capital appreciation kind of an investment, okay, then probably, after his savings and everything is done, okay, he can invest in real estate. Okay, also real estate, when we are talking about real estate, there are different categories of real estate. Okay, there is commercial real estate, there is residential real estate. Okay, if the real estate that you are investing is for yourself, okay, then it is not considered as an investment because you are going to stay there. Okay, if you are considering the real estate for your tax saving purpose or just for investment purpose, then whatever after your savings is left, there is no specific percentage that I can define that you should have X percentage of savings in retirement, just real estate. Okay, you can have depending on your needs and priorities. Okay, just the only thing is don't over invest. If if you have say, if you're planning to take a retirement or like a real estate or property on loan, okay, then you have to consider other factors as well. Okay, that whether you're able to repay the loan, or you're just looking forward for capital appreciation, or depending on your goals and your savings, you can invest.
Yeah. So real estate is a big ticket investment. So those who are having a
Yes,
sufficient funds only, they can go through, and the proportion depends upon their
savings.
funds availability and income capacity, but
Yes,
also on their risk behavior. Yeah, right.
yes, definitely. Yes.
Dr. Satish, are you there online? Okay. Any other questions?
I'll call Satish sir one second.
Yeah. Meanwhile, kindly see on chat box, I have posted the quiz question, the first of my presentation, that is on planning, and 6 questions, and you have to answer in the chat box privately to me only or to my email, and that too, deadline is today evening by 6:30, and results will be declared and kept with us, and we'll ask the president of the PATS and the secretary to announce in the next sessions, and probably we will distribute the prizes, which will be a surprise to all of you. Definitely a utility prize only will be announced to the top first 5 correct answers.
I will send my quiz today.
Pardon, madam?
The questions on the quiz, I will send
On
that
your
to you.
quiz, you can formulate. If you have one, you can put it right now, or we will put on the next Friday. But I have put on the.
I will post it. I will send it to you by today.
Okay, sure, no problem. You screen. I'll put.
Sir, I think you can continue, sir. Satish is busy with some emergency. So he said he will join for some time.
Put up my question.
Yes, yes.
Jinal, have you stopped?
No, I can still see you. I have not stopped.
Yeah, I'm.
Sir, any inputs from Tirumalai Kundu, sir? Any inputs you want to ask, sir? Or yeah, right. Yeah, your quiz is on. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful talk, sir. It's an excellent talk on financial planning, which we are all lagging. So the very important message she gave, the financial planning and retirement planning should be started at an earlier age. So when you start the planning at an earlier age, naturally you are going to accumulate a huge corpus. Even if you invest your money at a very small percentage, let's say a fixed deposit of 7%, because the power of compounding is going to take care of the rest of the things. So it's a very important message. And the bucket scheme, first and second, third, is also very good. So it was very new in the talk, which I will listen. I think she's a very talented financial advisor. She guided us in a very good manner. So I was very glad to hear your talk.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Because last 2 Friday we were talking, Ajay sir and myself are giving lectures.
Yes,
So it's very heartening for us to listen to you instead of talking.
Thank you.
True, sir. Any other comments anybody wants to give can join, unmute themselves and join before I start putting my questions.
Sir, please tell the rules. I think they need in the chat box, they need to ping you separately as a direct message, right?
Hello?
Sir, you got struck, sir, Ajay, sir. So I think go to the chat box and instead of to everyone, you need to select Dr. Ajay Kumar, sir, name, and you have to send the answers directly to the Dr. Ajay Kumar, sir's personal window on chat box. And please rename your name. Rename, no iPhone, no Google like that, Galaxy tab like that. So please rename your name so that we can identify the winners easily.
So if you see that you put your name, from where you are from, and your mobile number. And I have my email also. If you note down my email number, email ID and my mobile number, you can write the answer as answer for question 1 or A1, A2, A3. If there are multiple answers, you can write multiple answer. If there is one answer, you can write one answer as A, B, C. There are multiple choice questions or 4 questions. There are only 2 questions in the beginning, which has got 4 answers. So you have to mention all the 4. Start. This is basically we have designed to increase the just immersive participation on this particular programs as a introductory or a pioneering effort by the PATS and the PATS members for its doctors and professionals by the State Academy of Indian Academy of Pediatrics, Telangana State. The first section which is planning, I will be also putting in Dr. Kolondu sir's questions subsequently, and we will accumulate all the answers and the names, and we will announce it over a period of time. So the deadline for today's quiz questions are at 6:30 p.m. and you can answer private individual chat box. Put it on because I don't want answers to be closed or open. And you can also, if I'm not there after the session, say another half hour, if we close, you have a 6:30 deadline, you send it to my mobile phone or to my email ID. Okay, start. First sheet. This is from the talk which I gave on prudent, rational, safe investment goals for doctors. Question is, what are the 4 points we should take into consideration while setting financial goals for investment? I expect the answers 4 points. If you write only 2, you will not be taken as a correct answer. If you write only 3, also no. If you write multiple, also no. You should have only 4 points which we have mentioned. And these are all from the talk and presentation. Only the syllabus is confined to the presentation. There may be many answers. I know finance, which is so broad and has got so many inputs and knowledgeable persons who are watching, but try and see if you can put the 4 points for this question. What are the 4 points we should take into consideration while setting financial goals for the investments? Okay, we'll go for the second question. Right, my second question. What are 4 important asset class? What do you again, we expect all important asset class which we are discussing one after another, and as we have presented in the presentation, and all 4 asset classes. Got the questions? Number 3 is correct here. Question number 6. After what is satisfaction of happiness? This is as per the presentation that we have made on that day. A, 65 years, B, 55 years, C, 75 years, D, you're never happy at the end of the life. So it never happens. All the 5 questions should be answered. 6 questions should be answered. Then we'll take into consideration. If you are answering only 1 question or 2 questions, then you will not be eligible to the prize. Okay. Great. So in some answer, very good. Thank you. Keep marketing this question. The 4th question is, what percentage of rise in gold prices has happened in India over the 30 years period from 1990 to 2019? answers. Options are A 100%, B 500%, C 1000%, D 1500%. The question is, what is the percentage of rise in gold prices has occurred over a period of 30 years in our country? The period which is mentioned is 1990 to 2019, about 30 years period. There are 4 options given. You have to choose only one. You have to choose only one for this question. Yes. Yes. Good. You can post it on my chat box. And if we finish the time, then you can post it in my mobile phone, WhatsApp, or on my email ID. Shall we go to the question number 5? Question number is times your term life insurance should be taken into consideration. When you want term life insurance, how much is the target amount you must look for? Option A, 10 times the annual income. Option B, 6 to 8 times of the D, 30. One of the option is only correct as per the presentation which I have given. There may be any other, only one.
No, I think so.
Ajay Kumar sir, you are a co-host now. Satish, you are also co-host now. Ajay sir, unmute, yeah.
Hello.
Hello, sir. Your voice is breaking. Satish, can you
Hello.
unmute yourself? Yeah. Yeah, Ajay, sir. Satish, we are in quiz. After 5 questions, sir got discontinued. I think, sir, internet problem is there. Yes, sir.
Can you see the screen?
Yes, sir. Till 5th question, we heard, sir. After
Yeah.
5th, yeah.
Okay. I'm restarting. Are you able to see now?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So this is the 4th question. Sorry for the disruption. So we said about the gold prices, how much percentage they rose in the 30 years. That was my 4th question.
Yes, sir.
And my 5th question is this. How many times of your annual income you must aim for when you want to take a term life insurance scheme? We finished this. This is the last question I'm now displaying. How do you calculate the future value from the present value amount by inflation, taking into consideration inflation, which Jinal in a talk has mentioned that you have to take into consideration inflation. If suppose today my requirement of my present value is, should I take into consideration at the end of 10 years? Formal mention. So the things on planning, we will go to the next question for stock.
వంశీ గారు చెప్పండి నిమిషం.
Dr. Satish.
Yes, sir, I'm there. That gold question confused me also, sir.
Note down. Yeah, kindly go ahead. We finished the 6 questions of the first talk. I will take 5 minutes to display my second set of 6 questions for the talk number 2. That is on the stock market or the capital markets. Till such time, if you have any announcements, we have already done some announcements. If you have some, please kindly go ahead.
That gold question baffled me also, sir.
Yeah, the correct answers I will display. They are there with me.
Meanwhile, I have gathered some questions which have been frequently asked in the chat group, sir.
Go ahead, Dr. Satish.
So should I discuss those questions?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Just give me a minute, sir. I just shortlisted them.
Sir, have you saved the chat box, sir? Because we have typed in your this thing direct message, so it would have reached you directly.
So they got destroyed or gone. I don't have now anywhere because there was a disruption in the service.
You want me to feed again to you, sir, the answers?
Yeah, please do. Please do. Please do.
So, sir, should I discuss?
Dr. Satish, you
Ask the
can go
group?
ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go ahead with the questions, the answer which you have collected from the last talks, Dr. Satish.
Yes, sir. So one popular question in the chat box was, what about sovereign gold bond? Can we invest in sovereign gold bond or not? So the answer to this is, first you have to define how much you want to invest in your fixed asset category. So corporate bonds, gold bonds, and PPFs, all you want to invest into. That's up to your choice after discussion with your personal financial advisor. So once you decided that you have to invest some 20%, 30% into fixed instruments, some part of it can go to gold bonds. Why is gold bond a better option compared to physical gold? There are 5 main reasons. First reason, physical gold is physical, difficult to hold, difficult to park, difficult to carry. You can't carry 1 kg. I'm quite sure Ajay sir must be having some 500 kgs. So, sir, I would recommend Ajay sir should shift from that bricks to the gold, digital gold. Second thing is,
I'm going to talk on real estate, and if we have another Friday remaining, then we'll discuss about gold at that time.
yes, sir. Only 2 things I'll tell about sovereign gold bonds, sir. The good thing with sovereign gold bond is it gives you the benefit of gold price hike. The gold price goes up by 10%, your sovereign gold bond value goes up by 10%. But the additional benefit you get is government pays you nearly 23% as cashback, which is equal to buying gold at a 23% discount. Currently, market price is nearly 5,000 rupees or possibly 4,500. In sovereign gold bond, you will get at an equivalent price of 3,600, 700, which is a heavily discounted price, assuming government gives 2.5% interest every year for next 8-10 years. So that sums up to 25% discount. So by buying sovereign gold bond, you are actually buying gold at a price of 20% discount. So that's the most important point. Third important thing is RBI's guarantee. Nothing happens to sovereign gold bond, it will never go bankrupt. And the most important thing, that transactional losses, what we call a spread. When you buy a physical gold, you spend some 2% on the spread. That is, if the gold price is 5,000, you will buy it for 5,000, possibly some 100 rupees, 2% higher than the regular gold price. And if you go to sell that physical gold, if the gold is 5,000, you will get something like 4,950, some 2% lesser than the gold price. So what happens is when you buy gold, you lose 2%. The physical gold you bring, and again after 10 years to sell it back, you lose 2 more percent. So that loss is called the spread loss. So buy and sell, you lose 4 to 5%. Similarly, the GST that you pay, nearly 20%, 18% of the total value. So that will be approximately 2.5% something. So GST will be paid twice, when you buy, when you sell. So overall loss in a gold transaction, you buy and sell, you will lose approximately close to 10%. The overall return of the gold in the past 100 years is 8 to 10%. So all the profit that you can make will be gone in the transactional losses. So no point in buying physical gold. Always buy digital gold. And the best of all is sovereign gold bond. The only hiccup with that.
Can I also add something to this?
Yes, ma'am. Please.
No, first you finish. I'll add. Sorry.
The last one I want to add was sovereign gold bond is time bound. Although it can be traded like a stock on the stock market, but it's a time bound, 5 years, 8 years, or 10 years. So that makes it all about sovereign gold bond. Yeah, ma'am. Please, Gina, ma'am, go on.
So sovereign gold bond also has one more advantage over physical gold bond. Okay, if you hold the sovereign gold bond till maturity, okay, there is no tax on that. It is tax-free investment on that. Okay, if you have so suppose if you buy, so unless you buy from the secondary market, then it is a different thing. But if you buy sovereign gold bond, so for first 3 years there is no Uh, there is short-term capital gains after 3 years, 3 to 5. So you can say after 5 years, at maturity there is no tax; it's tax-free. Okay, and from 3 to 8 years, so it is technically long-term capital gain. So
So benefit, 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 and more benefits. So always buy sovereign gold bond. Yes, ma'am.
yes, not always, but yeah.
Yeah, at
The,
least
the
some part of your office.
2.5%, the 2.5% that you're going to get, that will be taxed in your income as per your tax laws.
Oh, that's taxable, ma'am. The
Yes,
2.5%.
yes, that is taxable. Yes.
Okay. The other question people have been constantly debating is whether should they buy regular funds or direct funds. Many people have come up with this like the public idea that direct funds are better, 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 better. The question is why are regular fund or direct fund scores over regular funds? The main reason is the expense ratio. Approximately 1% is gone as the brokerage fee for the advisor, or possibly lesser than that. The point of interest one should ask is not about direct funds or regular funds. A question the investor should ask is what is the CAR, cost adjusted returns? Let us say index fund, benchmark fund gives you 15%. The regular index fund will lose 0.5%. Direct fund will lose 0.3 or 0.2%. Whereas a direct active fund, let us say blue chip fund, the direct blue chip fund, you will still lose 1.5% compared to 0.5% of regular index fund. So rather than comparing direct and regular funds, compare what is the cost implication on your fund. So if I say a regular index fund has lesser cost implication than a direct active fund, the answer is go for the regular index fund because the overall cost implication is 0.5% only. So it's nothing about the regular or direct. The only thing is what is the overall cost implication on the fund value. We will discuss this in detail in the coming sessions. I
Yeah.
Ajay sir.
So, yeah. So Satish, what I understand from the answer between direct and application to the mutual
Regular.
funds is cost consideration,
Correct.
right?
Yes sir. Yes sir. Correct sir.
That is one of the most important. Stayed back for this second tranche of 6 questions on the second Friday of our talk on 30th April on capital markets, which was introduction to the Indian capital market. The first question goes like this. You can just answer to my chat box or to my mobile phone. That's a idea because there is a lot of distance signals.
Your phone will be totally overwhelmed with responses sir.
And try my
Sir, you there? Ajay sir? I think Ajay sir has got again disconnection. I will take this opportunity to answer one more question. Somebody asked me, can a NRI investor invest in Indian equities or Indian indexes? The answer is yes.
did you get it? Am I Dr.
Yes, sir.
Satish?
Yes, I can. We
Am I
can hear you.
audible?
Sir. Yes,
Yeah,
loud and clear.
yeah, I'm sharing that again. Sorry for that wrong this thing. AJAY56, DRAJAY56 at gmail.com. That's all. 56. Sorry for my bad handwriting here. I'm unable to actually write. This is like our gmail.com. Right? So the next question, the first question of the second topic is, what are the three necessary accounts for investing in shares? Please answer them quickly. The first five answers received before 6:30 today will be taken into consideration for declaring the winners, and the prizes to them will be dispatched. So the question is, what are the three necessary accounts for investing in shares? Both myself and Dr. Kolando have mentioned this in their talks. So your answer should be, most of you should be knowing about that. You want to invest in shares, what do you need? What are the accounts needed? Not only you, total accounts needed for investing in shares. They may not be your account, but at least what are the different three accounts which are needed? To the Bombay Stock Exchange, known as BSE, established, which are, I want all the answers. What is the index of the Bombay Stock Exchange known as? Companies in the value of this index.
Ajay sir, your voice is breaking. Do you want me to read it
Of
out?
establishment that company. Yeah. Please read it.
Yeah. So when was Bombay Stock Exchange established? So and what is the index known as? The index reflected by Bombay Stock Exchange is known by, commonly used in all newspapers. So what's that index known as? How many companies it constitutes? And what is the base year? Base year means the starting year. And its base value. So currently,
Yes.
okay, I will not tell that.
Yeah. Don't
Can I give small
any
hints, sir?
answers.
Sir, can I give small hints?
No hints right now. No hints right now. Okay, let me finish the whole questions and then you can give. Yeah.
I will read the questions. So you display the question. I'll read them out.
Yeah. This is question number 3.
From 1979 to 2019, in 42 years, BSE Sensex increased and gave returns. What's the highest figure it reached?
So there are 4 again answers to this. Am I audible?
Yes.
How many times the census increased? Number 1. What are the returns it gave? Either you can give into number of times the returns came, or you can give CAGR also. What is the compounded annual growth rate it gave to the investor? They waited for 42 years, invested in it. And what is the highest figure of the Sensex it reached ultimately? This is the question number 3. Okay. We are going to question number 4. The country's or the world's largest stock exchange, known as National Stock Exchange, NSE popularly, after Bombay Stock Exchange. When was this established? Which year it was established? What is the index of NSE known as? Very simple answer, very simple question. Which year that index was thrown open to the public, and what was the base value, the base year and base value of the index of National Stock Exchange? Year of establishment, what is the index known as, what is the base year, what is the base value of this index, and how many companies this particular index has in its portfolio. This is question number 4. This is based on NSE. Question number 5. Which are the 2 main depositories agencies which oversee investors' safety of shares, securities, and transactions? Which are the 2 main depository agencies which oversee the investor's safety in securities and transactions? Your shares which you hold, they will have a list, and they will see to it that whenever you do purchases or any transaction, your account will reflect this to you. And these are the 2 agencies which are responsible. Which are these 2 depository agencies, what are they known as? How many demat accounts are there overall held by these agencies or anybody else? How many demat accounts are there in India today? The last count may not be accurate, but at least till the last year you can give me. So there are two answers to this question. Question number one, how many depository agencies, what are the names, and how many demat accounts holders are there in the country? The last question, what is the full form of SEBI, SEBI? What is the full form of SEBI? When was it established and what are its main functions? I'll repeat the question. What is the full form of SEBI, SEBI? What does it stand for? When was this established? And what are its main functions? Even if you write 2 words for the main functions, I will take it as a correct answer if they fits into the key, what I'm looking for. This is the part A of the question number 6. Part B is, if you were a little attentive on this particular topic, which I presented, you will know the second question. What is FANGs? FANGZ. FANG. Okay, sir. I'm close all results. This is the question number 6. This is the end of 2 question programs for the first Friday and the second day on financial planning, personal financial planning, and stock market, capital market. Kindly give all answers and first on the last Friday to the registered participants.
Sir, people can see the answers on Google, no? Thanks.
Yeah, I put 6:30 p.m. as the last deadline. And they should answer all the questions, not just one question or part of the question. This is just to increase the awareness. If they are saying Google and finding out, it's okay. Doesn't matter.
They will learn.
The syllabus is the presentations only.
Sir, but your questions are really tough, sir.
Are they really? So we go back. SEBI full form. When was it established? What are the main functions? What is FANGs? Question number 3. What are the 2 main depositories? These are basic things. And how many demat holders in our country? Question number 4. When was the NSE established? What is the index known as? What is the year-end base value? How many companies it holds? Similarly, what is the index gave us the returns in 42 years? And when was this established, the BSE? And how many companies are there in this particular index? What is the base year and what was the base value? The last or the first question is, what are the 3 necessary accounts a person should have or needed to transact in the securities? Okay. That ends the quiz competition questions today.
Sir, can you repeat? Can you repeat those first questions?
Which question?
F3 quiz 1.
Oh, quiz 1. We have to share after stopping this. I have to open that. They are not in the same presentation. I'll do that. So let me finish this. Results will be announced over a period of time, but you must answer them only today. And you can answer them on my WhatsApp.
Ajay sir, your mobile number is correct?
9848034599. Sorry, 99. Please add last 2 digits 99. It is there in WhatsApp, so you can individually give the answer. This is my email ID. What I want is 3 things: your name, your place, and your mobile number, and your answers, of course, for all the questions of the part 1. Shall I go back, stop sharing on this, and then I will open the first part of questions, which
Sir, please post this also on the chat box, sir, this question PPT.
Okay, okay, sure, agreed. This PPT also will be there in the chat box. This will be for everybody. Satish, are you noting down the answers from our participants?
Nobody has.
So many have come to me. They won't put on everybody. Yeah, that is the thing. That won't be for everybody.
So you have to copy it. So you can save your chat actually. There's option called file.
I will copy. File. Yeah, I'm going on that only.
Next, there's an
Yeah,
option
these
called
are my
save
questions.
chat.
Pardon?
Next to file, there's an option called save chat.
Yeah, I'll do that. So quiz number 2 I posted.
People, we all thought it will be light-hearted,
Yeah.
entertaining session, but you made it quite difficult.
Okay, they are basic. If they don't answer also, they can look back and see our video clips which are posted by our secretary, Pawan Kumar.
Have you actually answered those points or not?
This is Dr. Ghanshyam Swami, is very active from Jaipur. I've got his this thing. I've got Sri Sailam from Nizamabad. Yes, very good. Lot of questions have answers.
Ghanshyam sir, you have raised your hand. We have allowed you to unmute yourself. You want to ask some question? Ghanshyam sir,
Yeah,
do you want to ask something?
go ahead. I will.
Sorry, it was by mistake only. Sorry, I just typing my answer now basically.
No problem.
Sir, the mobile number is not correct, I guess. 98480
999. Please add 99 in the end. 98403599.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome, Dr. Singh. Welcome, madam. Questions can be asked to Satish. Dr. Kolundu sir is there. Dr. Pavan is there, and I am there. And Dr. Balwant is there. Dr. Minal Mehta is there. She just finished a retirement planning presentation. Unmute yourself. Whoever want to ask, raise their hand and unmute. Dr. Ghanshyam, you can unmute yourself and you can ask the question, please.
Yes, sir. The question of the quiz number 2, where you have posted? Basically,
In the file today in the chat box, I posted the file. All
chat box.
yeah. I've also displayed on the screen. You didn't see?
Basically, the connection was lost at that time, sir.
Okay, just now I posted the file. Just have a look.
In chat box, it is not coming.
It is not coming.
Yeah.
You want me to?
There is no chat box. It is not there.
Let me see. I will post it again on the chat box.
So I just wanted to answer that quiz also, no?
Yeah. I have actually displayed them, you know. I have displayed, everybody saw on the screen.
Chat box, screen, but at that time screen connection was lost some reason.
Okay, let me see if I can do it. Yeah, it is there now, I think. Anyway, I will put it. Don't worry. I will just put it again.
Okay,
you can have a look.
No problem.
For quiz 2. Quiz 2 for the second. These are the questions. I'm posting it. Please have a look. I've already posted. Please have a look.
Sir, kindly post quiz 1 questions also.
Questions also I posted. Quiz 1. Again, I will post. Don't worry.
Thank you, sir.
Yep. Quiz 1 also I posted. If possible, I'll put all these questions in the WhatsApp group also. Don't worry.
Sir, you asked what is the index of Bombay Stock Exchange called. In the next question, you gave the answer also. Possibly you and
Don't give hints. See, it is all it's all a fun way of learning. That's all.
but sir, just to explain people what is the base year. Base year is the starting year, where they will take a round figure as a base number. From there it starts. It can be 10, it can be 100, it can be 1000.
Dr. Satish, I know we discussed along with our Honorary Secretary Pawan and President Dr. Surendra. This is only a fun way of learning and spread the awareness and education of the finances, which are the currently I saw one scam 1992 Arshad Mehta serial. They said Indian share market is like a big well. It's an ocean. Our friends and doctors and professionals have never dipped their even a finger in it, forget about the whole hand. So it's such a vast area of available opportunity for investment and making your own small second line of income or wealth creation. So stock market and capital market introduction was done with that intention, and the quizzes and the questions were also being posted just to increase this and the price incidental. Okay, so we are reaching the end of the day.
Ajay sir seemed to have lost his connection.
Except that we'll start doing the price distribution. Okay, thank you very much. I have a couple of announcements. Next Friday, we will have a talk on mutual fund and taxation by Dr. Satish and Sri Balwan Jain sir. Pending talks are there. I have a presentation on real estate, especially how to buy a farmland or an agriculture land, which is an area of my experience. And that will be dealt with in one of the Fridays. Then we will have a full session on question and answer. That is the last Friday. So kindly note down, we will put this also for your information in the groups. We have got 5 Fridays left, I think. 3 Fridays are over by today. So we have got 5 Fridays left. So we have got 4 talks left and 2 other Fridays, if possible, question and answers and worksheet. And a day. Okay. So thank you very much for your participation. hand over the mic, Dr. Pats.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. I think sudden seriousness has come when the quiz was announced and the questions was being posted, because it's a lot of work for our gray matter. So thank you so much for that wonderful idea. I think, it's going to be a very innovative thing. I think we'd have announced earlier so that we would have more participation. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I think with this, we'll conclude the session, and eagerly waiting for the mutual funds. I think many have shown the interest in the mutual fund session. Because of a epic program, it was being postponed to next week. So with that, I think we'll just conclude, and thank you so much. The chat, the groups will be open. You can share whatever the queries you have regarding today's session, and Jeanal Mehta and Tirumala Kuranda sir and Ajay Kumar sir, Satish, they are ready to answer your questions. Thank you. With that, we'll conclude. See you again next Friday. Bye-bye. Take care.
Now we can all leave.